before we begin, on the day the game comes out, I'm going to be streaming the game for the entire day, which is going to be on the 26th of March at 10 CET. And if you're wondering, what do you mean 26th of March? Isn't that a day earlier? I've got some news for you, but first we're going to actually start with the news from the beginning. So we had another live stream where we talked about the news, and this was the last live stream. So there's not going to be any more live streams like this to talk about the game information because the game's going to come out in 2 days, so there's not really a point to it. And the next really big news stream for anything would be Magia Day at the end of the year, so don't worry about that. But for now, we had a news stream with Akari Komiyama, which is the voice for Kyubey, and with the voice actor for Alina, who also, as it turns out, voices AQ, which some people have already speculated because it sounded kind of like her. I didn't think so, but apparently it is indeed the same voice actor. So we then actually have some news. First off, as everyone predicted, the 1 million pre-registration mark has been hit. It probably has been hit a while ago, but they didn't tell us because they wanted to have a big moment for the stream to show everyone on a live stream. So this means that we're going to get another 5-star portrait for everyone when the game releases. And I need to say something, you don't have to be pre-registered yourself to receive this portrait. In fact, the game doesn't know if you're pre-registered or not. The only thing that matters is that once this milestone has been reached, everyone who plays the game gets it. So more importantly, afterwards we then got an extended version of the trailer, like the TV ad spot that they're gonna show like on TV, so everywhere they showed us the extended version of that, but it's basically all the stuff that we've seen so far, just cut a little bit differently. Then we get to the actual important stuff. So they showed how the game is actually going to release, right? So we thought, okay, it's gonna release on the 27th. I mean, technically that's true, okay? But there are some things that lead up to the full release. So first off, on the 25th of March, so all these times by the way are in JST, at 12 o'clock, so on noon, on 25th of March, they're going to allow you to pre-download the game. So you can go into your app store and you can preload the game, but you can't actually start playing it at that point. Like, you'll just get the message that the servers aren't live, okay? But then, this is where it gets interesting. They are doing a pre-release, like an early release, right? What's it called? Is that Sinkhole release or something? Basically what they're doing is you can already play the game. It's like early access, right? You can play early access in the game. And what you can do is you can basically do most of the game. Like, you have access to the story, for example. You can roll for characters and raise your characters and do all kinds of stuff. There are some features that like require more server functions that don't work. Like, I don't think you can buy stuff like from the actual in-game shop or from the paid shop in that early access release, and you can't use PvP. You probably can't form unions either, like some of those functions might still be locked from that point. And that will be on the 26th of March at 17 JST, which comes down to about 9 CET. Now you might be realizing, oh, that's why you're streaming on 10 CET. You're giving yourself like an hour to make sure the game runs. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. So on the 26th of March at 10 CET, that's when I'm going to be starting my stream. I'm streaming for the entire day. And then on the 27th of March at 6 JST, which on CET is like at 22 the day before, so still on the 26th, is when the game actually fully releases and when all of the game's functions will be available, of course. So everyone's plus is going to be playing at the actual, like the 17 o'clock time on the 26th, that's the actual release time, basically, because it's early access. Of course, everyone's going to start playing on early access. You just don't have access to all server functions. That's basically what we're going to be doing. So once again, on the 26th, 10 CET is when I'm going to start playing, but it comes out on the at 9 CET. Okay, so much for that. Moving on, we are then shown that there will be like an event that happens like right as the game goes live. You might be wondering, well, you need some gameplay events other than main story, okay? So other than main story, of course, you have an event, which you usually have in gacha games. You have events running, and this will be the first event that's running, which is an event that basically focuses around Madohomu and the rest of the Pulamagi Holy Quintet just doing stuff, okay? It's an original story, so this is nothing that actually happened in any of the other stories. Nowhere in Pulamagi Madoka Magica this happened. It's like an original story that was written for Exedra, where Madohomu are gonna do some stuff, okay? That's what's gonna be happening. They also released something rather interesting. They showed that there's going to be another Madoka 5-star Kyoku. But there already is a Madoka 5-star Kyoku, which is the one that we get for free because we hit the 500,000 pre-registration milestone, okay? So since we hit that milestone, we're getting a Madoka for free. That one was called Lux Magica Madoka. But they also showed there's going to be another 5-star Madoka. This one's going to be in the gacha, and it's called the Pluvia Magia Madoka Kyoku. And you might be thinking, oh, does that mean that that one has a different role or a different element? Could this one be a healer, maybe? No, it's also a light breaker. So you'll have 2 light breaker Madokas to choose from, and one of them you get for free. Okay, sure. They also showed, by the way, when the game releases. Oh, by the way, and I say releases, I think they're talking about full release, not early access. So this event right here probably might not be available on early access, and only when the game actually goes like fully live. So yeah, this is going to be the actual roster of characters that will be available as soon as the game launches. So as soon as you're installing the game, as soon as you open the game, you will have access to these characters in the gacha, of course. There are some things that are missing here from the earlier image. So we've seen an image like this before where they showed all of the characters that are in here. The ones that are missing are Mami, Sayaka, Kyoko, as well as Team Kamore. They're also missing. So we're missing a grand total of 6 characters, which I assume will be the first few gachas. So look out for those characters to be the first few gachas in the game when the game goes live, because of course they will need some premium gachas to roll for. So these are probably going to be the first few premium gachas, which is rather interesting. So that's it for the release lineup. So a lot of people are, oh my god, where's my favorite character is like Kyoko or something. It's not in the game. But like I said, they're going to be the first few premium gachas, which means that they will be probably on rate up. They will be like the focus character, which means that if they're a focus character, they would be easier to roll for than, for example, trying to roll Ren, which is just one of the 5 stars in the unlimited banner, which is going to be harder to actually roll for because you might just randomly get spooked by someone else, okay? Next up, and I'm really sorry about this. Look, this was not my idea, okay? I mean, it might look like this was my idea putting this on screen right now, but here's the thing. They had an entire gameplay section that lasted for like 6 to 7 minutes, okay? Or maybe even 10 minutes, like a really long gameplay section, where all they did is they showed us gameplay that we've already seen before, and a bunch of story that we already know from, you know, Puramagi Madoka Magica. So basically it was nothing new. For like 10 minutes, there was nothing new. But then they showed us this scene, which is, you know, the scene that it is exactly the scene that you think it is, which lasted for a few seconds, but you know, it was rendered in Exedra 3D. And that's the entire reason why they showed us this like 10-minute long gameplay section, is just to show us this scene. So don't get mad at me for putting this on screen. They made an entire section just to show this scene right here in your face, okay? Don't get mad at me for that. Some other stuff that they talked about, it might be interesting for people who actually want to pay money. Keep in mind, we are going to let you circumvent the region lock very easily if you go to our Discord, okay? But there's 2 stages of circumventing region lock. The first stage is just being able to play the game, which I think is probably going to be very trivial, and most people will probably be able to set that up in just a few minutes to just play the game, okay? But there's a second part of the region lock, which is setting up the game in such a way that you can actually pay money for in-game stuff. That is quite a lot more difficult to do, and personally I don't know how to do that myself, because I'm in a country where I can just pay normally because I'm in a supported country, but we also will have guides up that will attempt to get people into a state where they can actually buy stuff for their account. So once again, go to our Discord. There we will have an Exedra help channel where you can just ask basic questions about how to circumvent region lock, and we'll hopefully get a guide ready in the Exedra guides and tips channel. But of course, during the release day, a lot of people are going to be playing, so I don't know how quick that's going to go, but we're going to be trying our best to get that going as quick as possible. But once again, just to be able to play, even if you can't pay, might be trivial, but we'll see how that goes. So here's how you can buy all kinds of stuff in this game, okay? So here's the first interesting thing to note, which they show on this slide, is that you may not actually want to buy stuff in-game. What you might want to do instead is you might want to instead go online to a web shop. So they will have a website somewhere. They don't have a link for it yet. You can't actually go to it yet. But once the game goes live, which once again goes live, which might be full release and not early access, you'll have like a link to a web shop. So you go online to a web shop, link your account, which it seems like it says down here somewhere that you need to link SNS. SNS just means social media. So you probably have to link your Twitter or your Google account or something like that to just show that this is you. And you probably need to link your in-game account to the same. So you probably link your in-game and your web account both to, like, let's say your Google email address or something, just so that they know this is the same person, right? And then when you buy stuff online on their web shop, you also get that stuff in-game. Now, why are they doing this? Well, if you buy stuff in-app, if you have in-app purchases, those purchases have to give a little bit of money to the App Store, right? So if you are on iOS, I think it's like 30% of everything you buy, actually the developer has to pay to Apple. So the developers obviously don't want to do that. The developers were like, hey, we would like to pocket those 30% ourselves. So they're saying, hey, go to the web shop. Because if you do it on the web shop, you actually gain bonus rewards. Like, I think you get more gems if you go to the web shop or something like that. So they're trying to entice you, like, hey, please go to our web shop to buy stuff, because they're giving you more stuff and we don't have to pay Apple. It's as simple as that. But yeah, that website is not actually open yet, so I can't link to it. But once the game goes live, there will be a link to that website. But like I said, you will probably have to link your social media stuff. Everything right here is Japanese, but I'm pretty certain the website is going to be in English as well, because otherwise, how is the English world going to actually be able to pay for stuff? Unless they're saying that English people would have to pay in-app, but that sounds like a lot of lost money. Anyway, so yeah, wait for the game to go live, and then there's going to be a link for this. What else do they have? Well, they showed a bunch of packs. I don't have images for all of these because they showed a whole bunch of images with a whole bunch of different packs. Most of these are like one-time purchases. Like, for example, I think this is like a one-time purchase, but like for just 160 yen, which I think is like $1 at the current yen to dollar course, is like $1, gets you 500 gems, which I think is like 2 rolls probably, and a Magia key, which is another roll. So it's like 3 rolls and a bunch of other materials for just $1. Wow, that's easy. You just have to, go into the shop, and then when you're already in the shop, that's how they get you. But yeah, that's the simple purchase. And then they're saying, hey, but if you want to buy something big, you also have a one-time purchase of 25,000 gems. But they're not sure. But it doesn't say right here how much that actually costs. But yeah, they have a one-time only mega packet of like a ridiculous amount of gems. I think it's like 100 rolls or something. We don't know exactly how many rolls that's going to be, but I assume it's going to be similar to Magia Record. And if this is Magia Record, this would be 100 rolls. But it might cost like $200 or something, who knows. They also showed some more stuff. They showed also special packs specifically for the release version. So these are only going to be active during the release version, which will be packs for, there's one pack that is 3,000 gems, plus a bunch of items for like racing characters. Then there's one that's 4,900 gems, plus a bunch of items. And then there's one that's 10,000 gems, plus a 10 roll on top of that, with like 10 Magia keys. And then also a whole bunch of other items. I don't know if the prices for those were on there, but I think they're going to be probably like 20, 50, 100 or something like that, I don't know. But probably something around that. The prices are going to be similar to what it was in Magia Record, so it's not going to be anything too outlandish, at least for gacha games. I mean, if you go outside of gacha games, yes, those prices are absolutely outlandish, but at least within the realm of gacha games, I think the prices are basically the same that, basically every gacha game does it. Then there's another stuff something else they showed, which is that also something that most gacha games do, where the first time you buy a packet of gems, you gain bonus gems. So let's say the first time you buy the big 10,000 gem packet, you actually get 15,000 gem. So a lot of people are going to be, like a lot of whales are going to be buying each packet once just to get the bonus gems for all of these. Something like that. But yeah, once again, they keep saying, hey, you should probably do this on the web shop, because, the web shop is the place to buy stuff. And actually, this stuff might only be for the web shop. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, go to the web shop if you are buying stuff. Then they showed a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have slides for all of these because they just rapid fired a whole bunch of stuff. They said there's going to be login rewards. So during the release version, and then once again, I think this is going to be when the game actually releases and it's not early access. Every day you log in, you get bonus stuff for 7 days in total. And across those 7 days, you're going to get 4 regular Magia keys, which is 4 regular rolls, 2 special Magia keys that give you a guaranteed 4-star. Okay, so 2 of those. And then 1 mega special key that gives you a guaranteed 5-star. So for logging in 7 days, you get a guaranteed 5-star and 2 guaranteed 4 stars and a bunch of other rolls. Awesome. You also get a free gacha roll every day for, I think it's going to be 15 days or something like that. This is a standard gacha roll, I think, and it's a singular roll, so not a 10 roll. At least I think so. There's also going to be a special banner where you can pay real money, and you have to pay real money, but you get a guaranteed 5-star. So that's another thing you can do. They also mentioned that there's going to be a contest, an art contest, where you can draw art and you get stuff for it, but you have to be a Japanese resident, so sorry, you can't get the stuff. They also said there's going to be a bunch of TV ads that are going to be running across Japan. Like, okay, they said that there will be an Exedra radio talk show. An Exedra radio talk show with Akari Komiyama here on the left. Like an actual radio show. It's going to be on YouTube, but it's also going to be like on actual Japanese radio if you're in Japan. I don't know why they did that, but they do have a radio show, I guess. And they also made an official Discord, but once again, this is a Japanese Discord for Japan. This is not for the world, okay? So we already have a global Discord. It may not be official, but it's ours. And that's the one that's also linked in the description as, you know, our Discord. So yeah, we have the global Discord, that's basically our Discord, and then they also have like an official Japanese Discord that gets like official news and stuff. But you have to, you know, you have to speak and read Japanese if you want to go there. I'm not gonna link it because, like I said, this is for Japan. And then the very last thing that we mentioned, this was not actually part of the news segment itself, but they actually updated the website, the official website, and they showed on the official website, these are the officially available regions. If you're in any of these regions, you're officially allowed to play and pay for stuff in the game. Of course, if you're outside of the region, you can still play the game rather easily. It's quite trivial to get around the region lock, but if you want to be able to also pay for stuff, a little bit more different. But once again, go to our Discord and we're gonna show you how to do all of that. Anyway, that's the end of the news segment at this point. Yeah, once again, I will be streaming the game when it comes out on the 26th of March at 10 CET. There is a link to the Twitch, of course, in the description as well. I will probably try to multi-stream as well to YouTube if you don't want to visit the stream on my Twitch. But apart from that, there's going to be a lot of videos that might not go out directly on the 26th themselves because I'll be playing the game. I'm making videos while I'm playing the game. But yeah, if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.